Good morning, and welcome to the Africa Weekly Talk. Today's subject on the docket, America at 250. America, the United States of America, on this day, July 4th, 2026, is celebrating its 250 years of independence from its former colonial power, Great Britain. But fellows, this celebration, this 250th anniversary celebration of independence by the United States of America should make every American citizen proud of this great country. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be just American citizens who have to be proud of this great country. As a matter of fact, citizens of the world have to be proud of this great country as well. Because what this country embodies and has given to the world cannot be disputed. The democratic principles, the true foundations of how a democratic society, where people will elect to choose their own government and leaders, will start from. It's because of these brave past American founding fathers who came up with a document that had then not been done in any part of the world. This modern era, even going back to the ancient era, where they decided to declare independence from tyranny, from oppression, from their former colonial master, England. And I don't see how any citizen of the world cannot relate to these beautiful words, the preamble of the Declaration of Independence. Fellows, there are no words that have been so powerful to humanity than these beautiful words of the United States preamble of the Declaration of Independence. It says this: we hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are the pursuit, are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, and government derives its powers from the consent of the governed. Fellows, how can you not be proud of these beautiful words? And then the preamble of the Constitution, where it starts with "we the people." It didn't say the monarch or some elites in the country or the chief or king or anything like that. It said "we the people." The three beautiful words of the preamble of the Constitution also says it all. So looking at these beautiful words that the founding fathers of this great country put together, by these words alone itself, I don't see how the world cannot be proud. Because these words embodies every human being on this planet who wants to live in a society where they are free to pursue what they want to pursue, to have the liberty in search of whatever they want, and to be happy. This is what natural human beings want in every society. And this is what the founding fathers of this great American democracy, of this great country, gave the world. So even though the independence was for America, it wasn't just for the citizens of America. At the end of the day, the very fathers, colonial masters of that time, the British, the French, and the Spaniards and the Portuguese, all of them have to adapt to these very words that were eloquently uttered by Thomas Jefferson and given to the world as a whole. And out of that today, 250 years later, America's experiment of enduring its governance to the people is still going strong. And the founding fathers of this country cannot be proud of what they set as a foundation for this country. And having said all of this about this great country, remember also, one key thing that holds this great country together, it doesn't say anything about country, it's about the document. The most important document that everything that goes on in this country, regardless good or bad, it always falls down to that document, the United States Constitution. That is what pretty much the founding fathers did. They came up with this document and gave this document to the citizens of this great nation. Like Benjamin Franklin said, we've given a republic, a country, but see if you can keep it and hold it as it's supposed to be. And that document is what makes America great. Because at the end of the day, it always circles back to what that document was meant for this great country. And I get it. This country has come a long way. Even when these founding fathers were putting together these beautiful words, these words that were crafted eloquently, words that pretty much every human being on this planet, regardless of what country you're coming from, can relate to, there was still slavery in America, where some people were still in handcuffs, were still in chains, and were still not free. And I get it. I get that people always make the argument that although this document was written and, the Declaration of Independence, the preamble and all of that, but let's also not forget the hypocrisy of the founding fathers also at that time. But we cannot just sit down here and say that, oh, because at that time, some of these founding fathers, like Thomas Jefferson themselves, held people captives and did not give them the opportunity to pursue their own life and happiness, like the preamble stated. But we also have to take into context the times that these people lived in. Yes, I know they wrote this beautiful document eloquently. Yes, they had slaves. Yes, they consider themselves better than others, human beings around the world. By the end of the day, this same document also became the fighting foundation of the abolitionists that will use these very words in the end to free slaves and lead to the abolition of slavery in the great country like the United States of America. So yes, we can go back and debate on the founding fathers' hypocrisy about the document and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day also, that was the very document that also was used also to free slaves. Also the document that was also used that also pretty much inspired the 14th Amendment in this great country. So yes, there was hypocrisy among the document, among the founding fathers about what they wrote on that document. By the end of the day also, they also understood that that document eventually will end up becoming the best thing ever for this great country. And in the end, it has proven that. Because we all now can go back and relate to that document, how that document has freed millions and millions of people all over the world. And this American experiment continues to grow by the day. I mean, this 250 years anniversary of the United States of America did not come by just like that. America had to go through a lot of struggles to get to where this great country is today. the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, for the citizens to fight to stop slavery in this country. All those struggles, Reconstruction, Jim Crow laws, all these things also have contributed to how great this country have in the long run and continue to grow and continue to become. So 250 great years of independence of the United States of America is not just for the United States of America. It's for the world as a whole. Because look all over the world today. Go to countries in Africa, Asia, Latin America, Middle East, or wherever. Yes, there are dictators. Yes, there's still tyranny going on. Yes, there's still slavery in some pockets around the globe and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day also, the true spread of American embodiment of true democratic systems has also woken a lot of countries up and has also contributed in the better life for a lot of countries around the world. Yes, democracies are not perfect all over the world, and including even the United States. It's still not perfect. It's still an experiment. We're still working on it. It's still going on. There are still failures, and then there are still work in progress system. That's how democracies are built. It's not a 1 day or 1 year or time structured form of system. You go through it gradually, and in the end, people start to benefit from it gradually as well. And this World Cup that is going on in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, and mainly majority in the United States, couldn't come at the right time. It came at the right time to commemorate the celebration of the 250th anniversary of this great country. Because the World Cup, which is supposed to bring countries together, couldn't and shouldn't have been held in any great place in 2026 than the United States of America. Because it is the United States of America that also embodies all that great things that the World Cup, the beautiful game, talks about and embodies. So there is no better place for the World Cup to be held than in the United States, especially in the commemoration of its 250th independence anniversary. I mean, fellows, like I said before, America have its failures. It's gone through its own ups and downs in terms of its own democratic process. But at the end of the day, there's no country on this planet Earth that embodies the American spirit like the United States of America. America, as a country, was an experiment. The founding fathers of this country didn't know how this country is going to look like 250 years because they studied themselves. It's an experiment that had never been done. But boy, these guys will be very proud of this great country and what this country has given the world. From innovation, space technology, medicine, and everything else that you can talk about going back to the 20th century, that America have led the way for the world. Talking about the great things that this country have contributed, either through financially or through technological or even through welfare and hard work of American citizens, even in the course of hardship by other countries, will volunteer or contribute to help rebuild other great countries all over the world. All these are part of the American spirit and cannot be taken for granted. America as a country should be proud of its 250th anniversary because what it has done for its citizens, as well as for the world, cannot be underestimated. I mean, fellows, this is the country that gave the world the aeroplane, technological advancements, the internet, telephone, I mean, space technology. And now you're talking about AI technology. Every modern thing that you live by today can be attributed to the great nation of the United States of America, and no questions asked about that. I mean, look at yourself, look around you. Any technology that you are using today can only be attributed to the great people of the United States and scientists of the United States of America. And all cannot be said just because of just the great democratic systems. Because the great democratic systems also gave this country the opportunity to have a great economic system. Like Adam Smith said in 1776, the very year that America declared independence, the year that Adam Smith published his book, The Wealth of Nations. The Wealth of Nations, where he aligned how democratic principles also can lead to a great capitalist system of governance. So America embodied the capitalistic system of governance from the very beginning of its founding. And you can also go back and talk about Thomas Paine, Common Sense, the contribution by a British immigrant who also came out with a pamphlet, The Common Sense, that also inspired American founding fathers to take up arms against the British government and the King of England for their independence. So you go back and you look at all these things and the factors that have made America great today. We cannot underestimate the power of the United States of America to the world today. And the question is, can America keep it up and improve on it for the future generation and people of the world? Yes, I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that America has laid a foundation and will continue to make sure that the world becomes better as time goes by. America is not going to sit idle. America will still be at the forefront of innovation, technological advancement, human rights, and everything that the world yearns for, because it has led the way from the very beginning that this country became independent from its former colonial master, Great Britain. And America will never let the world down. This is a country that has gone through ups and downs and continues to move on and drive on. The can-do attitude of the American citizen cannot be underestimated. For that embodiment of the American citizens and its advancement and its can-do attitude, everything that you see about this great country goes back to the very founding of this great country. I mean, like I stated earlier about the preamble of the Declaration of Independence, that eloquent words. And then came the Bill of Rights, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms. All these things were not done just for the sake of doing things. They had meaning to them. Without the right to bear arms, that had been a part of America from the very beginning, when the Europeans migrated to this country. If not for that, I don't think there would have been a revolutionary war against the British, because it started with those people. And in the end, they made sure, because that the right to bear arms will be there to protect the citizens from tyrannical governments, because they didn't believe in tyranny. And the citizens of every country should have the right to stand up against a tyrannical government. And that is one of the key reasons why the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, is embedded in the American Constitution. Because without that, they would never have been able to fight the Revolutionary War against Great Britain. And they knew that. But fellows, there's still more work to be done. America will continue to lead the world. And nothing else is going to stop the United States of America from leading the world. It has shown it that it has been the place where everybody believes in. It has welcomed so many people all over the world, regardless of who you are, whether you were Muslim, Christian, Judaism, Hindu, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of country you are coming from. This is the only country on this planet Earth that opens its doors to every citizen of every country to come in. And as far as you are willing to work hard, to educate yourself, to dedicate yourself to what you believe in, and do what is right, it gives you the opportunity to be whatever you want. Just like he said, the pursuit of what? Life, liberty, and happiness. There's no place on this planet Earth that embodies that than the United States of America. So, fellas, this is what I have for 250th anniversary of the United States of America. God bless America, and America to become more developed, and become more steadfast, and continue to help the world as a whole. If it's Sunday, it's the Africa Weekly Talk. God bless America, and happy 250th anniversary. Thank you guys, fellas. Have a good day, and God bless you guys. Peace and love.